Hi everyone, welcome back to Metaphor. So happy that you could join me today. We learned that the Elda are the original humans that are still surviving, the ones that didn't turn into monsters, and all the other races, the Clamar, the Rusant, etc., are all offshoots of the Elda or the humans that were originally on this earth. And I think this is a really neat twist. I really love where they're going with this, and I can't wait to find out what else they're going to reveal or what's going to happen. So let's get into it.
All our preparations are just about set. Now that this is actually happening, I've got some pre-show jitters.
All this royalty? It always felt they lived in a different world to the likes of me. Never figured I'd be walking alongside one myself.
'Tis proof that bloodline decides nothing. We are one people living in a shared world.
Well, freaking said.
Looks like this is gonna be our last mission. Any final words you want to say?
I stand strong to the end.
We can't give up. Stand strong to the end.
Of course. No way we're losing here. I've got the fire in my eyes now.
About the new stuff you've felt and learned since becoming the prince. Can I ask you one more thing? Why is it that you want to be king? It's not about honor or power, is it?
To protect my country and its people. I don't care for honor. Some coin would be nice. What are some of these options? To protect my country and its people, of course.
I want to protect this country and its people.
'Tis the answer I hoped for. As your knight, I will ever serve you with all my soul and ability.
Can you imagine? Everybody's so happy. The prince is alive and all this stuff. And then he's like, I could use some coin. It's like, wait a minute. This is the person we fought all this time for? Like, what the hell?
Well,
Risked our lives?
I guess this means we're ready as we're gonna be.
Head to Grand Trad. Okay.
This place...
Let's move!
You see?
I doubt all in Grand Trad would give us a warm reception. Still, should we choose not to fight, then Luis's victims only pile higher.
Yeah.
Easy to say will help anyone, but doing it's a whole nother thing. All the more reason we gotta prove we're serious by putting our lives on the line. We'll lead by example. Besides, it won't be the first time we've crawled our way up from the bottom.
After having made so many sacrifices, the group has gained new powers and ascertained new truths. Their arch-enemy, Luis, already has one hand on the throne. Even so, they march ever forward, spirits rekindled by battle. They head to Grand Trad, for the fight is far from over.
That Elden boy is nowhere to be found. I suppose it's only a matter of time until Luis takes the throne.
Speaking of which, I don't see the general.
The voice of the pro-Luis faction became too overwhelming. He was ultimately forced out of his position. Why is this happening? Even if the Sanctus Church's favor has collapsed, why is it that Luis alone is reaping the benefits?
The public mind is the same as it's always been. It's too difficult to find answers in themselves, so they follow those who provide. We've certainly relied on that ourselves.
Lots of empty chairs here.
It's always easier to follow than to have to make all the risks yourself. Now that we are out of ideas, what can we do?
Can you imagine Luis on the throne? Can you imagine what he'd do with us? We'd be the first on the chopping block. Do we hide? Run? Our ships are in port.
Is this really the time for idle chit-chat?
Matlin!
Who are you?
Just a passing wastrel. Thought I'd drop in for a word since I was in the area. You might have one way to survive.
Matlin, what are you doing?
Well then, let us depart.
Lord Luis, your pardon. We've encountered an unexpected snag. I killed the prince in the Elden village. I confirmed his death, yet it appears the boy candidate has merged with his corpse. It seems the prince is now resurrected.
Resurrected?
Yes, and what's more, the boy candidate was the actual prince after all. Something about his soul having traveled independently, and then returning to his corporeal body.
I see. So his ideal form was spun from Magla. Whatever the case, this means the land's true prince has reawakened in his sanctum. How interesting. After these long years, my chase may finally come to an end. My nemesis awaits.
Lord Luis, what is it about that bastard that fascinates you? Yeah, I won't let it end like this. I have to do better. I need more power. I will show Lord Luis I am worthy of his gaze.
Senpai, notice me.
We'll soon be arriving above the royal capital.
Excellent. As planned, increase altitude and enter the royal palace in the sky.
Are you certain? We'll be heading directly to His Majesty, the former king, and...
Rest assured, that old fool is powerless to stop me now. Proceed.
Understood.
Let the final banquet begin.
Is the final battle gonna be in that floating castle face thing?
Come on, any takers? Any bets for the other candidates? Remember, if Luis loses, a silver coin could turn into mountains of Reeve.
What are you trying to say? You think Count Luis is going to lose?
Oh no, of course not. I'll just say.
I'll call that bet. All in on His Highness the Prince.
Hey, Batlin.
A sanctus bigwig gambling away his tides? This really is the end of the world. Didn't know his esteemed princeliness had any supporters left.
Batlin's about to be rich.
I mean, he's not really the prince, is he? Was actually a monster in disguise all along. Haven't you heard the news? The times we live in, I tell you.
Must be tough, being an easy mark. It didn't take much for you to buy everything Luis was selling about the prince.
It would have been cool if I would have enjoyed Batlin being a follower.
The fireworks went off the moment he said, "Behold." Remember? You don't think there's any chance Luis orchestrated the entire thing?
Oi, churchman. You saying Count Luis lied to us? You think he cast some big illusion?
An illusion, eh? What if I said it's a power more dangerous than that? Always struck me as odd. We all know Luis, the mighty human slayer, but how does he keep finding the things one after another? Seems a bit convenient, if you ask me. Like he knows in advance where these monsters will appear to cause havoc.
Because he's using his... he's using Magla and melancholization to create these humans.
Easy to nitpick and gripe about him, isn't it, churchman? Maybe someone needs to shut you up.
All right. Let's keep things civil, eh?
No sense becoming a monster yourself?
Oi! What's all this fuss about?
Damn it! When Count Luis is king, you'll all be the first at the gallows. You'll die just like Forden.
Well, they're probably just as anxious as the rest of us. All that yelling and thrashing helps fight it off. Humans have been sighted near the capital, after all.
It's more than that. Pockets of society have resented the upper class for ages now, but this might be the spark that lights the kindling. Luis's respect for power is certainly cruel, but it's fair to an extent. Those of us pushing the status quo have always struggled to understand the appeal.
Even then, everyone's on edge. They'll jump at any excuse to argue and snarl at each other. Never seen it this bad. Not normal, I say.
And all that anxiety is not good, as we know.
Blind fanaticism and doom go hand in hand. If we don't find some common ground soon, it'll collapse beneath us. Luis left saying that he'd be waiting at the royal capital. Only one place he could be. All eyes are on his Skyrunner as it rises to the flying palace. What are we about to see? Ah, the royal palace. It's been a while.
Do you hear me, O king? Stubborn and deathless? This country is distorted. You and the other titled authorities decide who grows fat and who is devoured. The country knows no war only because our very core is built upon a system of societal predator and prey. It cannot be defied from within. That is peace, but not order. Hand over the royal scepter. The game is over. The country needs change, and I will provide it.
Thou impertinent faith breaker, hast thou no shame in preempting the day of judgment?
Daddy?
Do you presume yourself a god? Is that why you wrought your face in stone and took it to the heavens? You're nothing. Just an ordinary, broken old man.
How wouldst thou wield the king's magic? To what end?
To purify all that your kind have left to rot. You threw away your ideals, but I will never make that mistake.
Only the people's chosen may take the throne. The royal scepter and its resting place remain beyond you.
This royal scepter, the royal magic. Did you think that only generations of kings were aware of their secrets? Why someone can manipulate world-changing power by use of only a single scepter? Why only those supported by the people can use it? Listen well, O king. The truth behind the royal magic. Huh. So it's true. The country truly is putrid with sin.
They need to stop doing this to me.
In other words, if I took hold of it now, then I would have the power to change the world itself.
How didst thou learn of this?
How?
Thou wert elder.
Yep. Well, that answers my question of how he's from the Elder village.
You were not always blind to this country's rot. When you visited our sanctum, I saw and knew the passion in your heart. And yet, what happened to our village? What happened to this country?
Damn.
Oh.
You cannot stop me any longer. Nor can anyone else. Save one lone possibility.
Shit!
Snatching victory from the maw of catastrophe, the party descends again on the royal capital, Grand Trad. But they are greeted only by ominous skies. Their return hardly counts as a triumph, considering how they departed. Anticipating conflict, the Gauntlet Runner comes to a quiet stop.
What the hell's wrong with the sky?
Isn't that... Oi! That monster boy's come back!
Ah, that's why the sky's grown so hellish. The half-dead bastard returns with his head held high.
A more aggressive welcome than I expected. Would any introductions help them to understand?
Probably not.
It's useless. Words are cheap. Still, we should walk with pride instead of trying to keep our heads down.
True enough.
His Royal Highness, the Prince, returns! Luis distorted his form through strange and terrible magics, but the curse is now dispelled. His true form has been restored!
Oi, if that's really His Highness, then tell us why in His Majesty in the sky stop all this bloodshed?
Cause he's an imposter! Just like Count Luis said! You'll not fool us again, beast!
Oi! Calm down. At least listen.
Oh, man. Nobody's listening to what Rella told them anymore.
And you! Never thought I'd see one of the Magnus brothers standing against Count Luis, even the thick one. He took in a Paripus like you, and you spit on him, scum! Only thing traitors deserve is a tight rope and a stiff beam. And you want us to support the prince?
Lady Juno, I can't believe this. I admired you. Why would you risk dying alongside some fake prince?
Because he's not fake!
I don't intend on dying with anyone. Besides, I'm still me, whoever I'm standing with.
Hey, you chief! Weren't you the wretch who got kicked out of the knighthood? Now you're with this pack of throne chasers. Shame. Shame!
Okay, look. You can talk smack about me all you want, but don't you bring my friends into this.
Mustari girl! You ungrateful pagan! Count Luis brought down the Sanctus Church for you! How dare you strike out at him? They're all traitors, I say!
What is all this? The truth of the prince hardly matters to them. Every one of them's only concerned with their own emotions and nothing else.
We'll have your heads on pikes soon enough. Leave! Get out of our royal capital!
If they're just monsters, we can deal with them ourselves. How about it?
This is bad. They really are out for our blood. Has everyone gone insane?
Oi, over here!
Batlin!
Don't bother with them! No talking this one out. You need to run, now!
What a bro. What a bro.
We weren't away from the city that long. What happened? Why are all the people so bloodthirsty now?
The prince turning into a monster before their eyes still lingers in their minds. After all, a monster entered into their society disguised as a person.
No, that's not...
I know, it's not true. But truth and how it appears to the citizens are different beasts. Moreover, humans have been sighted closer than ever before. The royal capital's populace is unused to danger, so they've become suspicious of each other. How fares your neighbor? Do you run in circles with monsters in disguise? Are questions on the tip of every tongue. Ever since Forden's death, Luis has everyone on a knife edge. He's erratic, and nobody knows how he'll react to those who defy him if push comes to shove.
So, at the core of it, people are scared witless and they cling to Luis as a savior, rather than the devil he is.
You well know that Luis cares not one whit about social status, especially as a token of birthright. No amount of wealth or standing can buy his protection. So even those who may have opposed him at first now counsel that condemning him would be imprudent, as it puts their safety at risk.
Then we're stuffed. He won't save anyone, and oh yeah, he can create humans, by the way.
Oh, that's all true then. I have my suspicions, but it's still a bit of a jolt. This all said, in my humble opinion, what we're seeing in the people now has been in the works for some time. Now, has the tournament for the throne truly ever been a fair contest? The Sanctus Church bent it to its whim, and I abetted that. To my shame.
It's okay, Batlin. You didn't know.
Before I met you people, I didn't have much to me but anger and quips. I'd rant and snipe and have my cynical little discourse, but I'd only looked to others for change. Now maybe that outlook's our real enemy. Blind fanaticism, like I had. Even if there's no malice to it, it's a dangerous thing. Hard to think clear when your mind's a muddy stream.
Bro's spitting facts right now.
We've been told Magla is born from people's anxiety. Perhaps the proof is now before our eyes.
Kind of ironic. But we have to do something about it. If we don't, they'll never listen. We'll only ever be seen as an enemy.
I had the inn prepared. They won't let anyone in but you lot. Let's head there for now, shall we?
Thank you, Batlin. You're the best. Nerys is heading back to the Gauntlet Runner. It seems like the city has calmed down, at least a tiny bit. They'd have a hard time wrecking our Gauntlet Runner, but we shouldn't still chance it. We should make our way over to the Hushed Honeybee. Everyone else has already gone ahead.
Everyone, I'm glad you made it back in one piece. Since you left, Luisa's following has only grown.
Fabienne, Maria, I'm glad you guys are safe.
Have you changed? You're still the same person, aren't you?
I'm a little bit more British now.
'Tis quite a story, but it deserves explaining. I only hope you can believe us.
Alright, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. I had thought all this business with declaring yourself the prince was a well-meaning bluff.
I thought it was too!
But under the deception, you were, in fact, the actual prince. Is that right? Still, I mean, how do you get the whole country to believe your story? Is that even possible?
Frankly, I doubt it. We've just seen firsthand how far we'll get trying to talk the people down.
Then what will you do? If this goes on...
but you're still you, yes?
Maria's like, none of that's important. I asked a question.
You came to help everyone, just like you helped me before, right?
That's right.
Yes, that's right. It'll all turn out fine.
Good.
I see. So, even if no one believes you, you're still determined to settle the score with Luis head-on?
That's right.
Even so, the gulf between us is wider than ever. The people have all but named him their champion. With so little time, a guileless appeal to the public may fall on deaf ears.
Hard luck for the honest knight. And not much room left for civil debate now that Luis is openly advocating killing his opposition. Well, that ship sailed when the king's magic faded. Anyway, if there is a key to turning the tide, first place I'd look is the castle in the sky. You saw how violent and volatile the city folk are now, but I don't think it's as simple as fearing Luis. I've been keeping an eye on the royal capital while you were off on your jaunt through the woods. Frankly, the change in public sentiment was too sudden, unnatural. It's as if they've been collectively drained of their sanity, and if I had to guess what's causing it...
Melancholia?
You're implying it's Luis's doing? All the eeriness in the sky. Is that because...
Don't know, but the change in the citizens is certainly odd. If something really is forcing it, that means we might still have a chance to fix it.
What Luis is doing in the royal palace, whether or not he truly desires a world overrun by humans, we won't know his mind until we confront him.
On the other hand, it may well be bait for a trap.
There's gotta be something up there.
Then it's settled. Head to the royal palace and put a stop to whatever Luis is cooking up. With that Skyrunner, you're the only ones who can. And we'll fight in the ways we can too. We'll make sure the whole kingdom hears that the real prince is back after all the strife he's been through.
Indeed. If you can make things better, you might just inspire everyone to remember their own hopes and dreams. Maria's been terribly patient, waiting for you and believing in you. It'd be nice to see her smile again.
Maria.
Right.
If Luis is behind all these disturbances, then stopping him will only help us in the approval ratings. You like the redhead gal, Jesse? You too, Soulblazer? I was reserving judgment, I was holding off on saying for sure like if she was my favorite or not, because like when we first met her, I was like, oh my god, she's best girl. And then Juna came along and Yufa, so I was like, let me get to know these two. But you know what? I think Hulkenberg's she's my favorite still. The other two are great, but Hulkenberg's she's best girl for me. And it's not because she has red hair, or is it? I don't know. That probably has something to do with it. Oh man. When you have a type, you have a type. I mean, what can I say? Let's see. My best girl in Persona 5, redhead. My best girl in Persona 3, redhead, right? Maroonish. My best girl in 4, black hair. But to be fair, I don't think there was a redhead in there. So, I don't know. Yufa's perfection. Yufa's great too. Juna and Yufa are both great, but Hulkenberg, she's my favorite. I love her. I don't know. Anyways, I'm trying to think of other like redheads, but I can't go through like my whole list of games I played like right now in an instant. So we'll just think about that more later. But yeah, redheads, woo!
I'll always believe in you. We'll all do our best, so you can be a good king.
Indeed. If we win, I suppose you really will be king.
Yes, it's just now dawning on you, isn't it, Stroll?
We're counting on you, O king.
I went around this whole time saying, like, I don't want to be king. Now look.
'Tis too late today for a grand charge, I fear. Let us take a night's rest, and on the morrow, we make for the castle.
What to pick?
Rest up for tomorrow. Okay. It's so different from when you were last in Grand Trad. Everyone's staring at you with such disdain in their eyes. We must remember you've still got people on your side, William. Let us do what we can. Batlin!
Oh, hell.
Everyone is filled with so much anxiety now they don't know what to do. Public sentiment is very volatile at times like this. There is still a way to win. There's something foul in the air in Grand Trad. Everyone seems so anxious. Those who oppose us do so with fervor, and there are also those who believe in us. We must press on. No matter what I say, the people of Grand Trad are going to look down on you. It's times like these where your actions will speak louder than words. When they see you stand up to Louise, it'll be plain who's in the right.
You...
Who would have believed you were His Highness, the actual prince? I apologize for the less than royal accommodations, but try to have a good rest nonetheless.
Let's rest.
If you said and heard enough, let's head to bed for the night.
Oh, it's Mister.
No matter what happens, you're still you to me, mister. I'm going to keep cheering you on forever. That's my Maria.
Hold there.
Friends we may be, yet I would hope you'd seek permission before entering one's private quarters. I was just trying to talk to you. Oh my gosh.
Your Highness.
And so His Highness returns to the royal capital in triumph and glory. In truth, I'd have liked to welcome him back with a grand feast. Ah, well, the day shall come when the people too celebrate you in grand fashion. My spear is ever ready to ensure that day comes.
Honestly.
First you were Louise's subordinate, then a false prince, and now you have awakened as His True Highness. None have walked so strange a path as you, and after all of this, you still mean to be king.
Come on.
Some turnaround, eh? Last time we were here, people were falling over themselves to welcome you. Now the only thing I see in their eyes is fear. Damn it, people. Even if William turned into a monster, Louise is the one making him. That's a fair bit scarier if you ask me. Indeed. Okay, sleepy time. The bed is bigger and softer than the bunks in the Gauntlet Runner. Maybe it's time to call it a night.
Good night.
The day of the hero draws near, which shall see the crowning of a new king. 31 days remain.
The day of the hero draws near. Okay. New dialogue for the day change.
To all the people who dwell in this land.
This voice?
It's rather imposing.
Soon, naught but 1 month will remain. On the dawn of the day of the hero, the one who has inspired the greatest faith of the people shall inherit the kingdom. I bid thee forget not these words.
Wasn't expecting to wake up to such a spectacle, but I suppose that confirms it. This is where it ends.
Luis has already fortified himself behind the palace walls. Good thing we've got a Skyrunner, or it'd already be over for us.
Or perhaps it is us he has been waiting for all this time.
However disturbing the world looks now, 'tis only a prelude to the deadland Luis strives for.
Sky looks proper hellish already. And with all the humans out there, it's no wonder everyone's losing their grip.
Well, he wanted a fair world where strength decides everything. Funny how that's indistinguishable from absolute chaos.
But it's Luis who has the most support right now. And that wasn't born of deception. He broke the nation's order, and everyone knows it.
Sure enough. That's what got Ardell and I dreaming to begin with. Figured a world where the poor and weak get trampled on was a world worth breaking. Come to think of it, what do we all stand for, really?
Hope?
Maybe... hope.
A little broad, don't you think?
I don't really know what everyone's talking about, but everyone who's seen you and your friends say you're amazing. You make them really, really happy. Because, you know, you've got all the tribes in your team. Everyone's different, but you keep working together and doing great. You're so cool.
Why does hearing Maria call me cool just fill me with such joy? You're so cool. Aww.
A fair point. You're quite right, Maria. It is a hard thing to word, so forgive my fumbling. But perhaps it is a matter of standing for something Luis does not believe exists. We must prove that it does.
If you keep on believing in what you want, and you keep on working hard for it, it will come true.
That's right, love. I can think of plenty of people who would be much happier if they took a page from your book.
I see now. This is surely the essence of true magic.
Best of luck, Your Highness. After all those speeches about taking the throne, it'd be awfully irresponsible to go dying on us now.
If Louise claims victory, everyone will be sacrificed in his wake. We have to prevent that from happening. Whatever Louise is doing in the royal palace has to be stopped as soon as possible. And it's up to us to do it.
Right. Thank you.
Well, we'd best keep an eye on the calendar. The king's deadline was the dawn of the day of the hero, so we've got until the day before. And that won't be the end of things either. Even if people come to their senses, it would amount to nothing if Luis sits upon the throne. Personally, I think we should prioritize our main objective here. I'm sure we'd get it done, but we have to make sure we have at least one day to spare before the day of the hero.
We've got a few days left, so it's up to you how we spend them. When we set off, let's do it with no regrets. So Luis is hiding in the floating royal palace here. We have to stop him. I won't accept King Luis. That's...
Dread. Oh god.
Here's where we are now.
Let's put an end to this.
Deadline 10:25. Days left 30. Head to the royal palace in the sky to save the world from being driven into madness by Luis. This man, with his ruinous aspirations for the future, must not succeed the throne. A mission with a deadline has begun to challenge the airborne palace to depart from the round table and the gauntlet runner. Due to Magla disturbances throughout the kingdom, the entire country is experiencing dread weather. If that wasn't bad enough, be cautious of an inclement weather called blight. The abilities of your followers and their support will be indispensable when it comes to surpassing Luis and being crowned the new king. Use this time to ensure you'll have no regrets when you depart. Prevent Luis's destructive vision and rescue the kingdom's future before the day of the hero arrives. Royal Palace.
So?
You need to be absolutely sure that you're ready for anything before we head in. That place has definitely changed from the last time you were there.
Smash it all to bits.
Okay, so we have the next 30 in-game days.
I've been waiting.
William, there's something I wanted to point out to you. You've awakened the Prince archetype. The power within your way of life has influenced even your allies. And now, signs of a power beyond imagination present themselves. It is the power of a true hero, one who shares and supports the perspective of the sovereign, such as a royal archetype. I hope you'll let me witness its power come to fruition. In response to the protagonist's true awakening, his allies can now study royal archetypes. Okay, this is exactly what I was thinking. Because I maxed out Hulkenberg and like Stroll, so they earned the ability to do something, but it wasn't unlocked yet. So I guess this is it? The requirements for royal archetypes are difficult, but they are powerful archetypes unique to each ally.
Hello.
Okay, how do I do this? Study? Stroll. I hear a familiar voice.
Ultimate power.
Archetypes draw their power from thy soul. Is this what I'm looking for, or was this here the whole time? And I never clicked on it. The heroes of old perished, only possessing one, yet this marks thee apart. Thou canst acquire and wield many. Find thou the ultimate heroic embodiment, that which eluded thy predecessors. Who are you? This voice. I can't remember. Oh, okay, that's... So, how do I do their heroic archetype or whatever? What am I trying to do in here? Top, middle? Whoops.
I've been waiting.
Oh, I guess I could just probably do it from my menu now, right?
What now?
The book has something new, I see. So stroll. Oh, right here. Royal Warrior. The true heroic embodiment of the warrior. Its slash attacks and enchantments are unparalleled, but the study requirements is a question mark. What does that even mean? I can't do it yet. Oh. Paladin. Dark Knight. Elemental Master. Oh, so she does need to go down this path. See, I knew it! So, strolls must be something that I haven't unlocked yet. Like, maybe this damn thing. Or this thing over here. Oh, gosh. Okay, so Hulkenberg, she needs to okay, hold on. So she needs Paladin rank 20, which we're working on. It's at 13, and then she'll need Elemental Master. Okay. Stroll, we don't know. Oh my god, 2 question marks. 2 question marks. 2 question marks. We need whatever this is. And something else. Probably maybe this. Soul Hacker. And probably whatever this is. Okay. Well, that's great because Yufa is currently learning the Seeker line. And I didn't even know she was gonna need it. 2 question marks. Alright, well... okay. We need to progress our followers here. That's what we need to do. So we can unlock some more of these. Let's see what this is. A magic formula apparently written by the king. It's entitled The Royal Magic, but it's written in language from the old world and I can't read it. A mysterious name is written at the end. The True Seeker, Bunny Tails.
That reminds me.
Oh, you figured out that the parts we can't read are written in old world language, right? Were you able to find out about anything else?
The truth of the matter is...
Somewhat, yes. However, it raises more questions than it provides answers.
What?
What do you mean? It's all names. The parts written in the old language aren't part of the spell at all. It's a list of countless names.
Not quite.
Then again, perhaps that's the type of spell it is to begin with?
No way!
Really? Kinda creepy if you ask me. Whose names are there anyway? I can't make heads or tails of all this Seeker and royal magic business. Perhaps the royal magic isn't the kind of spell we've assumed it is. The floating palace. The way this spell reads the hearts of the people and protects candidates from assassination. Perhaps there are deeper truths beyond the magic's individual aspects. The former king's greatest wish was to guide the kingdom to reform. I assume that's written there. What's written there is the crux of his endeavors to that end.
That's right.
I'm not confident in my ability to decipher any further meaning from it. When or if you recall anything, I would appreciate if you'd examine the scroll for me again. Okay, we have some work to do.
Oh. You'll come again.
We have some work to do, guys. And I'm excited.
Hello there.
Hello there. I apologize for bringing this up at a time like this, but I have something I thought I should tell you. Lately, I've been searching through some old histories to review our true traditions, and I discovered something about a set of towers scattered throughout the country.
Whoa.
A tower? Like that one place, right? Yeah, we're familiar.
I see.
Oh, is that so? Then this makes things simpler. According to the books I've read, when turmoil rocks the world of men, a sign will appear in the towers 3. 3 trials for 3 towers upon the hero who proves thrice worthy a forbidden power that has been sealed away in this world will be bestowed. Essentially, 3 towers will appear, each with their own trial, and then whoever conquers them will obtain some kind of great unprecedented power. The nature of this power is unknown. However, judging by the description of worthy hero, I sense there are trials of not only sheer strength, but honor and other like qualifications. Then the trials seek to test if one is worthy of power, and overcoming it confers one with the honor. Somehow it reminds me of royal magic. I dread to think about what would happen if Luis obtained it. I would much prefer it in your hands, but what do you think of it? Will you undertake these trials? One tower is apparently south of our island here. It is called the Spire of Blind Faith, and it is known by some of the islanders. But for precise information, you best ask the informant. I hear there's a monster that's taking up residence there, so it might not hurt to go in with a bit more protection.
Let's take a moment to prepare.
Trial of the Dragon, Heroes Rest.
Thank you.
As for the remaining 2 towers, Mustari living outside the island might know something about them.
Check.
We've already talked to one about one of the other towers. We've got a good handle on this story. Mustari outside the island are rare, so it leaves a pretty strong impression when we do happen to meet one. Oh, have you? I have few methods of learning about things beyond the island's purview, so I've asked certain people to act as my eyes and ears. To be frank, I believe these trials will be dangerous ones. The books even say countless are those who have lost their lives. But I believe if anyone can overcome them, it's you. That's why I wanted to inform you of it so urgently. Heroes of our island, I pray for your good fortune in battle, and I hope this legend turns out to be a mighty power that you can use for the good of the world. Okay. Well, I'm gonna need some information.
All right then.
I shall.
Right, we're on our way.
What's wrong?
The color of the sky really is eerie. No wonder everyone in town is so frightened. We must do everything in our power to return their lives to days of ordinary peace. William, I know this isn't the best time, but could I speak with you about something? It's Ovi and the others. Since the incident before, the Sanctus parishioners glare at me if I so much as walk near the church. I've tried explaining myself, but they won't hear it. If I try going through the front, then I'll run into them. What do I do? Let's sneak in. I was able to convince Yufa to break into the church with my overflowing eloquence. Sneaking into the church this way feels so underhanded. But appearances matter little when lives are on the line. Though they be cold, let them stare. Now that we've decided our course of action, I'd like to infiltrate the church as soon as we can.
Thank you very much.
I'm so grateful. Let us use teleportation magic to go to Brylehaven then. Good. No one's around.
Yes?
The distortion of Magla feels fainter than it did before. Why would that be? Well, I don't know. Something must have happened. Something must have happened.
That's surely right.
Yes. Let's proceed with caution.
Time to go!
Let's go to the basement. I truly hope everything's all right.
Oh.
There isn't anyone here. Where have they gone?
Actually...
William, look what I found. I think Hyperic must have written this. Here's an entry from June. Their illnesses are steadily worsening. I pray, but it is not enough. I know it is my fault. Well, one can't call Hyperic an uncaring man. Look how he takes responsibility for this strange illness. The most recent entry says, prayers are not enough. Faith is not enough. It is because the devil dwells in their hearts. The fools. Illness is a punishment from God, and his wrath will spread throughout the country. We must beg his forgiveness. From this land saturated with his fury, I and the other believers will offer up our flesh. We beseech thee, O God, to forgive us our sins. Closure. We will offer up our flesh? Oh, hell no.
Is this perhaps...
I can't believe this. Hyperic has taken the parishioners. Why would he do such a thing? Why would he do such a thing?
See here.
I think his feelings of responsibility finally reached their tipping point. He thought it was all his fault, and that became too much to bear. What did he mean by, this land is saturated by his fury? Wait a second. Here it's mentioned they're going to throw themselves into a volcano.
That can't be.
Maybe he means the main Sanctus temple in Altaberry? I think so, because look at the illustration of the mountain. The word volcano is inscribed on its northern side. Uh-oh. Who's there? Got company. Ovi! Oh, she's crying. Oh, Ovi, she's so cute. What are you doing? Ovi! We found out where your mother is, and everyone else too. It's just that it's quite far. Liar! You're just trying to trick me. They said all the pagans... Pagan? They said all the pagans like you are liars. Why did you take Mama? Don't you know Mama's sick? You're awful. It was Hyperic.
No.
The one who took your mother was Hyperic. I'm going to leave Hyperic's journal here. Please, someday when you're feeling like a big, strong girl, have someone read it to you.
It's all right.
And by the way, Ovi, I haven't forgotten my promise to teach you that dance. After I help your mother, let's practice, shall we? That's a lie!
Ovi?
I know it must be hard for you to believe me, Ovi. People can lose sight of the truth if they believe in something too strongly.
But then...
But I want you to know that it really was a joy to have met you. Please, don't think I lie when I say this. Ovi. Ovi. Oh. William, please come with me. I want to stop Hyperic.
Please, you must.
As far away as it is, we can't pass through the mountains, but we could fly there. We'll deal with it together.
Everything okay?
We'll deal with it together, as soon as we can.
That's surely right.
Thank you. Though I believe he's using a gauntlet runner belonging to the Sanctus Church. Judging by the date written in his journal, he may be arriving there soon. Hyperic seemed serious, but also quite sensitive. I think it was the Magla that made him lose touch with reality.
That means...
It reminds me of when I believed I should be sacrificed, and that gives me all the more reason to stop him at any cost.
I must.
So please, William, keep helping me. I draw much from your strength. I can sense Yufa's strong determination and her immense trust in me. Now.
This is something only I am capable
We can now study Devil Summoner. Oh, okay, this is worth it. This is worth it. Devil Summoner.
This is the place.
The place mentioned in the journal is so far away. I worry for them and what they might be thinking of doing. It might be difficult to turn this tide, but I truly believe we can help.
This one's important.
We need to go back to the tavern and get information. Okay.
We'll face danger here.
Let us hurry there.
Oof. 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 Alonso? It's not possible for me to hear Alonso's voice, and yet somehow Alonso comes to mind. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Oh god. The landowner. Ugh. I don't want to talk to you. You're the last person I want to talk to. You're William, correct? I've been looking all over for you. Why are you here? There was a deeper meaning to Alonso's sacrifice, and I would have you know the whole truth of it. You were in on it too? Or something? I don't know. I miss Alonso. Alonso said he was going all in on you, so I did too, on the new world that you're going to create. You're familiar with the tavern he used to frequent, yes? The place I first broke the news to him. Let's talk there. He actually asked that it be the venue, and I mean to honor his request.
Allow me to introduce myself once again. My name is Dataran. I'd like to thank you for your assistance.
Why did you kill Alonso?
Why did you kill Alonso?
I understand that you're angry, and rightfully so, but please, hear me out. The execution was proposed by Alonso himself. He agreed to bear the weight of my crimes and die with them.
But why? What does that help?
That is, under one condition. He had me declare my support for your candidacy by naming you as the key figure who put an end to the people's suffering.
But why did he think that his dying was the only way to support us? Was the best way to support us? I don't...
And in doing so, Alonso would accomplish his goal. To bring you great renown.
He shouldn't have died for that.
He didn't need to die for something like that.
Perhaps it was meant to be a form of atonement. By giving you recognition and building your reputation, he could pave you a path to the crown. He truly believed that you could change the world.
But surely there could have been other ways to go about that.
Alonso entrusted me with this letter, or rather, with his last words.
I wager you must be furious with me.
Yes!
I'm sorry I didn't let you in on the plan. I knew you would be against it.
Obviously!
Believe it or not, I consider myself a just person.
My cons were always in the service of a greater good. I convinced myself that it was all for my hometown, for my mother. But that pretense crumbled away, along with her life. I realized everything I'd done was out of my own selfish desires. Such a man ought to die. So, I found a way to make a worthy end of it.
Why couldn't you atone with living your life in a better way?
Come to think of it, death, too, is perhaps its own selfish escape. When you stopped me, I could finally confront that about myself. The truth of the matter is, I like lying. I like tricking people. Perhaps I never needed to be a good person. On the day of my execution, you'll be lauded as a hero, and everyone in attendance will be none the wiser about my deception. Yes?
But everybody hates me still. All the people who lauded me as a hero hate me now.
Before long, you'll ascend to the throne, and the world will become a slightly better place. All thanks to my lies. I've done far too much wrong in my life. But in my final moments, I will become the kind of person I've always aspired to be. I owe it all to you, even though I know this wasn't the conclusion you wished for.
Alonso.
You have my gratitude.
I can sense Alonso's genuine trust and affection in his unadorned words of thanks.
The devious schemer, Alonso, keeper and heritor of the Faker's virtues.
Well, that's the decision that he made, and there's nothing we can do to change it. But what we can do is we need to make sure that we ascend to the throne for Alonso and everybody else.
Your tempered bond has become by the grace.
Rank 8.
Remember your promise.
We can now
Become
study
the
Trickster. Okay. Well, that's good. I like that.
Are you all right?
No. No. I'm not.
No. I'm distressed.
I'm sure you must be. But Alonso believed you could bring about a better future.
But I wanted Alonso to see that future.
You there. Bring him what we've discussed.
What now?
This is Alonso's fortune. Though half of it was pinched from my coffers. Still, the fact that he managed to steal all this is quite impressive.
What do you plan to do?
What are you planning to do with it?
Rest assured, I won't be taking it with me. Not after all that's happened. Alonso intended to give this money to his village, but he was terribly distraught when they wouldn't accept it. However, if you, the hero, were to give them the money, that'd be a different matter. Might you donate his fortune in your name?
Alonso's story is just so... It's so tragic and like William said, it's very distressing. If that's my friend's wish.
If that is my friend's wish, then I will.
Thank you. Please grant this wish of his. I'll make arrangements for a coachman to transport this to the village. Until then, his property shall be in my care. Come speak with me once you've arrived. I ask this of you in his stead.
This one's important.
Oh. While clutching Alonso's letter to my chest, I parted ways with Dataram. We can talk to Barden? Okay.
You?
Is it really? Is it you? Ah, so it is. Bit of a different air about you. But that's just all the motivation I know you're bursting with. Great stuff. So you see, I've another question I want to ask you. You said before that you didn't really want to be king, didn't you?
However,
I knew you weren't lying about it then, but have you changed your mind? Do you plan to take the throne now? I do.
Aye, yes.
I understand. Then I promise to support you even more. Though that begs the question of whether I can even what I can even do at this point. I've got to say, you show up at the most perfect time you do. Did something happen?
The truth is,
They're about to announce the governor of Martira again, seeing as it wasn't settled before on account of the sandworm. Put another way, I'm about to get the boot. But you've been by my side every step of the way. You deserve to be there at the end. I believe in you.
This been acting as a proxy since the giant sandworms made the governorship one big open question. Everyone's gathered here today to learn what's what, and probably to sentence me to exile.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
I do feel terrible, but that one vote they took was correct after all.
I asked you all to gather here so I could speak about Martira's governance. While Barden was recuperating, I was glad to act as his proxy. However, henceforth, I would like Barden to resume his duties as governor.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
What's this?
This town's autonomy was initiated by your sheer pluck. At the time, I cooperated only so I could use you for my own ends. But I had a revelation in those moments as the giant sandworm approached. I saw that I cannot even protect myself, much less the people. When you returned here exhausted and in tatters, I regretted everything from the bottom of my heart. My actions are unpardonable.
Sir Gastro, but if I go back to governing, it's...
Have faith in yourself.
Have some faith in yourself, Barden.
All right, if you say so.
I need a William by my side just cheering me on for everything I do.
I'm just not sure where to start. Except to begin with an apology. My excessive measures frightened you all, and I implemented them because of my own insecurity. I was anxious about whether or not I could keep you safe, so I turned to surveillance and barriers. No more. We'll keep some of our armed forces, but what I really need for security is to have faith in you all. That's why I am not fit to govern.
But it's not over yet.
It's not over yet.
That's right. It's never over. We can still improve this town. And we want you to see it done. Barden, listen. I followed your example and built a defensive barrier myself.
I did too. And I had an idea. We could turn uninhabited houses into shelters.
Things didn't go well before, that's true. But you're not the only one at fault, Barden. This is just as much our town as yours.
Aww.
Oh, laddies and lassies.
Laddies and lassies.
You see? After two disasters, everyone has a more mature view of things. You're free to decline. But is that really what you want to do?
Okay, kids, it's your turn.
Well, now I must apologize. If it truly is what everyone wants, I'll be the governor of Martira again.
Yay!
This time, I won't do anything to scare the populace. We'll have faith in each other, and the town's unity will be known far and wide. And for our first step, I have the perfect suggestion. Step forward, young man.
What? Me?
The reason I stand here now is thanks to this fella. He is the hero who saved this town. The one most worthy of the crown. I want us to support him as the future king.
Yes! Yay!
And a hero together!
Come to think of it, I never told you the truth behind that bit of arson. It was this little poor wee un who started it. He didn't mean to, but he touched an igniter some fool had left behind. I only know this because just the other day he came to me begging for forgiveness, all in tears. If I'd known from the start, I would have just thought it a lone accident. Instead, I acted like invaders had infiltrated us. Got my people all terrified.
It's in the past now.
It's already in the past.
You say that, but I can't forget it. Ever. Henceforth, I'll be changing my ways. Let's focus on the future now. This region, in fact the whole country, depends on it. Mind if I ask you just one more time? If you think I'm fit to govern?
Oh, you just want to hear me say it again, huh? You're next in line of succession? There's no one more qualified.
There's no one more qualified for the job than you, Barton.
And you truly believe that?
Yes.
Then I must devote myself to the work even more, so as not to disappoint the future king. Thank you greatly for everything you've done. This only happened because I had your support. Even when I made mistakes, you stuck by my side. I'll return the favor one day. I swear it.
I can sense Barton's convictions as a governor and his unwavering faith in me as a comrade.
The honorable God, your temple by the...
We gotta go quick. We gotta go quick. Time's running out.
You're the one who brought
We can now study Warlord. Yes. Let's go. Let's see who needs to do Warlord.
Today really is such a bonny day. I'm blessed with the greatest of friends. The townspeople love me, despite all my flaws. And everyone is so... Thank you again. I'm just so happy.
Oh, Barton. Bart and I talked as old friends for a long time. The people of Martira now fully support me. Hey! We're making our way back up. Oh, wow. Okay. It's nighttime. I think we could just get Brigida maxed out, but I kind of also, well, I mean, yeah. We could do Brigida. We could always do the hot springs later. We could also go to...
All right then. Where to?
I don't know. Brigida. Where do I need to meet with, I also gotta meet with the landowner. I guess let's go. Let's just max out another. I kind of want to do this. We could do the other one later. We don't have a time limit on that, right? Deliver hot spring water. No deadline. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Well, I mean, we'll do Brigida.
Intriguing.
Well, the world looks a far cry from how it used to. But somehow, that light in your eyes is still the same. You're a funny one, boy. I've been waiting for you. I'd like to speak with you about a decision I made. Do you have room in your busy diary for me? Always.
Thank you.
Always, girl.
Honestly, I was thinking about closing up shop for good, but I see we have one last item of business for today. You didn't notice? 2 children have been following you. They have igniters. I imagine they're here for me.
Oh my.
Brigitte!
You two. I saw you at the village.
So you remember us? What a shame, right? I'll bet you didn't think you left any survivors, right?
That wasn't her.
Everyone we know is dead! You killed them!
Oh no. That was the Sanctus Church though.
I see. So, you're here for revenge. Is that it?
The church did it.
You've got it wrong. The church was the one that did this to you.
What are you talking about? The Sanctus told me all about it. They said you set the whole village on fire. That's why they gave me this igniter. They said killing isn't wrong when you're punishing the wicked.
What absolute cowards. If they want Brigida dead that bad, then they should do it themselves. Don't put blood on a young child's hands.
I see.
After you murdered their whole family.
You. My apologies. But I'd appreciate if you didn't interfere. No matter what happens.
Brigida, girl. Let me tell you about my friend Alonso, okay? I already lost him and I'm not gonna go through this again. That depends on what happens.
That depends on what happens.
No. No matter what happens. Please. This is your first time killing someone, I take it. I hate to break it to you, but you should have finished the job without saying anything. You realize you just gave yourself away. Now I might dodge. That's a chance at survival I didn't have before. Might easily be enough to turn the tables and kill you. And what's the exit plan after you've done the deed? How do you get out of the city before they find my corpse? Or did the Sanctus forget to mention these details? The church thought they'd use you to kill me. That? Or they were hoping I'd kill you?
No! You're lying!
If you don't have it in you, then I suggest you save your revenge.
You're not fooling us!
It's a painful thing to live your whole life running away, carrying your sins on your back. If you ask me, it might even be harder than killing someone. You'll watch me die again whenever you close your eyes. You'll smell my blood, hear the rasp of my final breaths, see my eyes cloud, again and again and again.
Damn.
That's what lies down this road. It's a dark path to walk, alone, with the weight of your despair. Your heart won't let you trust again, nor will it let anyone save you. But you still have time to turn back.
There's nowhere left for us to go.
I've prepared living spaces at my research facility. They're meant to give people like you a safe home.
What? What are you talking about? You think we trust you?
I know how easy it is to lose all your peace and hope in an instant. And now that you've seen that firsthand, I can't fault you for doubting me. But just once, just one more time, I want you to think of your future and get the help you need. It's a hard thing to crawl up out of hell, but the first step is having the courage to believe.
But if I lived in your place, you'd just kill me!
If I wanted to kill you, I'd have done it already. I'm not saying you have to trust me right away. Believe me, I have a hard enough time trusting people myself. But isn't this what you two really want? To believe in people, and believe in your own happiness? Thank you. I'll show you the way to the research facility now. That took incredible bravery, you two. I can already tell you have a better life than mine ahead of you. A more peaceful and gentle future, greater than anything we could imagine, is about to dawn. The two of them fell asleep as soon as they found their room. Must have been the first sleep they'd had in days. Can't imagine how nervous they must have been. We have to protect them. We can't let this place be destroyed. Suppose that means I can't afford to close down the shop just yet. I'll keep selling igniters for now. But I'll only stock models with limiters, meant to dampen their destructive force. And I'll offer a bargain for the people to trade in non-limited igniters towards buying my wares. Against the Church's campaign, it'll barely make a difference. But it'll buy some time until you take the throne, right?
And afterwards?
And what do you plan to do afterwards?
Well, that depends on the new king. It's a small gesture, at best. A pretense at change. But it's enough. As long as it can give those children a little hope. I trust you to brighten our world. Give it the surge of hope it needs. Take the throne, and lead us forward.
We'll achieve that together.
I want that hope to come from the both of us.
Ah, right. Now I'm in the
Hey,
thick of
we
this
got the four.
research. I can't exactly dismiss this as someone else's problem anymore. So we'll take on the job together. May the flame of hope burn ever brighter, and may the light of that torch pierce the world's dark. May it reach the crying and the suffering, and save them.
This is such a nice, beautiful song, isn't it?
I vow to stand by your side. I'll find ways to be useful to you. I was always afraid of telling the truth. I built igniters into a shell around my life. On the inside, I figured I had nothing. I was nothing. Just a hollow parody of a person. But even knowing how weak I really am, you refused to abandon me. Thanks to you, I've come to know hope again. So I'll believe in that hope and try to live my life to the fullest. That's my decision, and I'll stick by it. Thank you, young man, for giving me the courage to live again.
I can feel Brigida's determination to live a new way of life, as well as her unwavering trust in me.
The traitor
Man.
and iconoclast. Your
I
tempered
really
bond
thought
by the grace.
we were gonna get the doggy back from the beginning of her thing. I thought we were gonna I thought it was gonna be like to rescue the dog, but I guess the Sanctus Church really did just take and kill the dog. Like, this game is so dark. I was like, oh, this is a story about, you know, a woman and she gets this dog and she pretends she doesn't like the dog, but she falls in love with the dog and the dog gets kidnapped and then we save the dog and everyone lives happily ever after. But there's no happily ever after yet in these. I mean, Barden had a pretty happy ending, but man, this is rough. We can now city tycoon though. That's hype. That's hype.
No doubt there are countless people out there suffering, enduring unimaginable pains at this very moment. But you can show them that their world is not a living hell. Not when you have your own vision for it. I'll be waiting for the day it comes true.
Brigida and I spent a long time in earnest, open discussion. All the merchants in the country now support me. Oh, that seems pretty significant. We're in the 800s. Woo woo.
The day of the hero draws near, which shall see the crowning of a new king. 29 days remain.
We're running out of time.